Hey everyone, this is Matt Tallman, and I am so excited that you're going to be able to join me in this class on the history of prayer and revival. This is one of my favorite subjects, especially when looking at the history of the church and the history of Christianity. I'm most passionate uh, about the subject of revival and what has caused it to occur. And in my own life, I know I witnessed this firsthand when I was when I was in just out of college myself, and I went with a missions team to the country of Guatemala, and we were there. We were trying to do some evangelism and witnessing, but nothing seemed to happen until one day we decided to set everything else aside. We were going to be there for 6 weeks. We'd only been there for 2 weeks so far. We hadn't seen anyone come to Christ yet. And we decided we don't want to waste our time any longer. So we set aside some time to pray and fast and seek God. And we set aside 3 days. And at the end of that 3 days, everything changed. The next day was unbelievable. I don't have enough time to explain to you how everything occurred, but I do remember at the very end of the day, after already hundreds of people had come to Christ, at the very end of the day, we had gone to a park that our host recommended was a waste of time. So that's where only the rich people go that aren't interested in God. And I remember sitting in that park performing our little skit, our little drama, and watching the most distinguished and well dressed man in the park watch our drama, get on his knees, weeping and crying out to God. And our hosts were shocked. And the reason we found out afterwards, as this man received Christ, they said, "You don't understand. This is the mayor of Guatemala City, who, incidentally, just a few years later became the president of Guatemala." And he said, "I want to make sure that your skit, your drama, is presented to every school and every public institution in Guatemala City." And over the course of the next few years, as we continued to go back to Guatemala, we saw hundreds of thousands of people come to Christ. We had the opportunity of seeing something significant happen. It began with prayer. But this is something you see happen repeatedly throughout history. And I want us to explore that in this class. Not only in our discussion groups. So in this class, you're going to have discussion groups that you'll be a part of. We'll also have a weekly chat together online. If you can't make that, be sure and get the recorded version and send me a brief reflection of what you learned. We'll also have regular weekly reading, and you'll want to keep up on your reading journals every week. We'll have a research paper, a brief research paper, and we'll also have an exam. But one other thing I've added to this class, I not only want us to learn about history, I want us to make some history. I want us to spend at least 3 different times during this course where we will each find at least a day that we can set aside to seek God, to pray and to fast, to pray for our communities, to pray for our nation, and to pray for our world. So let's make history together. Now, let's don't just read about it. Let's don't just learn about it. Let's make history together and see God change this world. Anyway, thank you very much. I'm looking forward to having you be a part of this class, and I look forward to our discussions and our time together. Thank you.